So
I do have a thought, Daryl, by the way, about the people that on Friday night said that Shedeur Sanders should start week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
How to set a rookie 5th-round pick quarterback up to fail 101.
Some of those throws, also, you mentioned the first touchdown, which was a threaded needle into triple coverage where he had rolled out of the pocket to the left. Like, that's a Sunday throw. I'm not in a position to debate those people.
Why not?
I don't think they're all that wrong. Now, I can disagree with it.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
I know you have been just dying to just let it out. So here you go, Nick. Here's your opportunity. Your boy, he showed up and showed out.
Like, he showed you some things that bear having the conversation that we're getting ready to have about, is it time to move Shedeur Sanders up that depth chart?
And so absolutely, no doubt about it, it's time to have that conversation about moving Shedeur Sanders up that depth chart. And truth be told, like a lot of people knows, he already should have been, at the very least, he should have been the number 2 quarterback on that depth chart.
Yeah, it was fun. And I knew it was going to be. That's the thing. That's why I'm like almost not over the moon today, because I knew he was going to go out there and play well. I knew what I had signed up for when the Browns drafted him in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL draft. I knew he was a guy that was capable of doing everything that he showed us during that preseason game on Friday. And I do think for Browns fans that want to have fun and that really did enjoy Friday, I saw some people like late Friday evening into early Saturday morning trying to just throw cold water all over that performance, and people were bringing up the Dorian Thompson-Robinson Hall of Fame game because that first debut of DTR's career, he looked pretty good as well. The one thing that I'll give you, though, is this is just a completely different situation. With Shedeur Sanders had actual NFL expectations. DTR did not. Some of those throws, also, you mentioned the first touchdown, which was a threaded needle into triple coverage where he had rolled out of the pocket to the left. Like, that's a Sunday throw.
And so absolutely, no doubt about it, Shedeur Sanders was out there making Sunday throws on a Friday evening. And that's exactly what he was doing last year on Saturdays in Colorado. He was making Sunday throws, throwing with anticipation, throwing with timing, accuracy. He had all those attributes that they said were not important for Shedeur Sanders because he couldn't run fast, allegedly. He wasn't big enough, allegedly. He wasn't black enough, basically. He wasn't a Cam Newton. He wasn't a Michael Vick. All the quarterbacks that they said couldn't last within the NFL, because in the NFL, it's not about running. It's about throwing with anticipation. It's about throwing with timing. And those are the things that we saw at a Shedeur, but those are the things that they tried to minimize all throughout the draft process to ultimately justify Shedeur Sanders dropping to the 5th round.
So I do have a thought, Daryl, by the way, about the people that on Friday night said that Shedeur Sanders should start week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
How to set a rookie 5th-round pick quarterback up to fail 101?
216-474-0092. I'm not in a position to debate those people.
Why not?
I don't think they're all that wrong. Now, I can disagree with it. I disagree with it. I still think starting one of the veteran quarterbacks in Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett is the way to handle this thing. But if you call up the show today, if you hit us on Twitter at Right or Wrong Fan, at Nick Padot 12, at 92.3 The Fan, you're not going to get a counter argument from me, because the rest of the QBs on this roster, one, I haven't seen any of in actual live game action, except the quarter plus.
Saw Joe Flacco last year. Saw Joe Flacco in 2023. Saw Joe Flacco for the previous 100 seasons he's been playing.
But here's my thing, right? Like, when the other 5 quarterbacks on your roster have a combined 0% chance of becoming the franchise quarterback, I'm in no position to debate or argue people who want to see Shedeur Sanders start week 1 for a football team that in the pie in the sky scenario is going to win 6 games.
That's insanity to want him to start week 1. And also looking at you want him to play the Ravens in week 2,
but I'm not.
You want him to play the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings.
Don't.
Like you really want that for him right out of the gate. You want to absolutely just have this kid crushed right out of the gate.
No.
Then yeah, sure, go ahead and do that.
If Shedeur Sanders continues to play like he played on Friday, and he continues to have the reps, the limited reps that he has in practice and OTAs, then you have to start him. He's not going to get any better on the bench. He's not going to get any better sitting behind Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel. And right now you got the momentum. Right now you have the fan base, and not just in Cleveland, but worldwide. I got people in the comment section chiming in from Africa, chiming in from Europe, all over the world, talking about they want to see Shedeur. And you got to capitalize on that. There's a such thing as momentum. Every team knows this, every organization knows this, every coach knows this, and sometimes you can catch lightning in a bottle. And that momentum not only translates to the quarterback, but it translates to the rest of the team. And so if you want to have some success and you want to have a chance at success, if you're Cleveland, who's not scheduled to have success this season, especially not in that division, because as it stands right now, the AFC North might be the toughest division within the NFL. You're looking at the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cleveland Browns are sitting there with the worst roster in that division. And so they're not scheduled to have a good season or to have a winning season. And so right now it's all about development and seeing what you got, because next year you got 2 first-round picks. And it's supposed to be a quarterback-friendly draft. It's supposed to be one of the best quarterback drafts in quite some time. And this year was one of the worst quarterback drafts, allegedly, and we had 2 prominent black quarterbacks. And they labeled it the worst quarterback draft. And so y'all get what I'm alluding to. And so next year, you're going to have a lot of teams clamoring to get an Archie Manning and some of those other quarterbacks that are supposed to be great prospects. And so if Shedeur Sanders is going to have a legitimate shot at sticking with the Cleveland Browns, he needs to get in there and he needs to play, because he's going to make his mistakes. He's going to throw his interceptions, as all young quarterbacks do. And if he gets in there the final 4 weeks or the final 6 weeks of the season, that's not going to be enough time. That's not going to be enough time for him, and that's not going to be enough time for the team to properly evaluate him. And so in order for Shedeur Sanders to have a legitimate shot at being the Cleveland Browns franchise quarterback, I think he needs to get in there and start as soon as possible. And then on top of that is the Cleveland Browns. Do the NFL and the Cleveland Browns really want to hold the world hostage while they put Joe Flacco in, somebody who's already seen his best days, who was a serviceable quarterback in his time, but obviously he's not going to be the franchise quarterback going forward. And right now, like I mentioned before, Shedeur Sanders has got the whole world watching. Even if you don't like Shedeur Sanders, even if you're a Sanders hater, maybe you're a Dion hater, or just a Shedeur hater, you're still watching. And so just from a marketing standpoint, why wait? You got people out there that want to see him fail. Why wait? Let's go ahead and get it over with. You got people out there like myself and others who want to see him succeed and have success in the NFL. Why wait? Let's just go ahead and get it over with. Either way. But that's how I feel about it, and I know a lot of you guys do as well. But go ahead and drop it in the comment section for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to be as active in there as I can and reply to all the comments. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for me one time. And if you're not new to the channel and you've been enjoying the content so far on this channel, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And as usual, peace and chaos.